Hello, 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 everybody. Whew. Yeah, I'm rushing. I'm rushing. I'm getting here, and I see that my dear sweet Khadijah is here. I'm so happy to see you here. How are you? Okay, wait a minute. This is not connecting. All right. And I know my sister is here. I know I can't see the chat on my phone, so I'm really going to be looking at the TV today. Um, all aboard, welcome. I am your Mama Cougar, aka Kitty Lane, that baby boomer from the peninsula in Virginia. And we are here with another Create and Relate. I am so happy to have you here today. We have so much to talk about and so little time to talk about it. Before I get started with anything, I want to send a lot of love to my Lady Bird loves, Khadijah. And thank you, number one, for being here. Number two, I want to ask you if that video helped at all. And I pray that it did. That's why I don't like my pillows to show. I don't like my pillows to show. Hey, gorgeous. How are you? Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, B, breakfast. Y'all had an amazing breakfast. My daughter came in and we had homemade breakfast burrito, cheese and eggs, lettuce, tomatoes, um, sausage, yeah, and onions, red onions. And what else? Did she put whipped cream in it? I mean, not whipped cream, sour cream. I said cheese. I did say cheese. I said cheese and eggs. So cheese was the first thing I said. So, so that's what we had. We have an in studio audience today. I have both of them. So every now and then you might hear a peep, and then you're gonna see the grandma eyes shoot at them. You don't know. Along with that, we had tater tots and I have not had my coffee yet. I know, I know. I told y'all I'm trying to cut back. And sometimes that means having it later in the day. Some days I don't have it, but I am going to have coffee today. It is going to be a little later today. It'll probably be when we're eating our snack or our lunch or whatever meal Pete decides to title it. I don't know if StreamYard is having an issue or what's going on. I hope everything is in place. I know, please will get the meals on this. I know that when I look at it, it keeps freezing up, and I'm not understanding why the sound seems like it's coming through. Can you all hear me okay? If you can hear me okay, there is an ear emoji. Put an ear or type the word ear for me and let me know that you hear me okay. Hi, Lori. How are you, my love? Okay. I want it later, not right now. You can drop that in the trash. Or you can sit that in the refrigerator. Okay. Thank you. And like I said, welcome in my twin and stitches. Okay. Okay. Why? Why are you refusing, Hadisha? You were the first one I gave love to. I gave you a big hug. I have tears. Okay, Khadijah, I had to take myself out of that mindset because it's not for me. This is for someone else. So I have to tell you that yes, see, that's where my tears are too. Because I'm not a pink person. I'm not a pink person. Now purple, we can do purple all day, all year, all evening, all lifetime. We can. We can do that. But this right here, this is definitely for someone. It's actually for my neighbors across the parking lot. They're husband and wife, and they're both very friendly and they're very helpful when I go over to the trash compactor to take the trash. They do everything in the world they can to help me, which is why it's fading into blue. And this is going to be the darker color on the outside. I've not really worked on it the past couple of days. And when I looked out and saw him on his patio today, I was like, I got to get this done. So, jumping way ahead. Yes, yes. Jumping way ahead into getting to the focus of this week. This is, then I can keep this off my lap. I don't, I think I get, and you know what? And it's funny because I don't think I have any more of this color in the house. I don't. I don't. I have something similar. It's very close to it. But this shade right here, I used every bit that I had of it so that when it left, it would be gone. Now this is actually watermelon. This is Big Twist watermelon. I can almost do that, especially when I mix it with the Big Twist teal. They work so beautifully together. It puts you in mindset of a Caribbean holiday. They look really, really, really pretty together. Okay, I do understand. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, so we got as far as the breakfast and the coffee. And now for drink. My drink, my drink is um holding up my phone right now so that I can make sure I'm centered and I can look at the TV and see that too, but I can't look at you all looking at the TV. I have to look into the camera to look at you all so that you know my heart is pure. So, what is everyone else working on today? And while you're getting that together and letting me know, we have come to the E portion of our live. So, you know what I need you to do? I need that egg, either boiled egg, fried egg, not poached. Not poached. We can do scramble. I know, but bless your heart. Bless your heart. I know when I was watching you the other day, we were having that. I say we because it was kind of warm in here that day. I don't know what was going on that it was so warm. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm messing up. Yeah, I don't know what was going on that it was so warm in here that day. But it was kind of warm in here that day as well. But today it's okay. I got the fan. I got the fan set on two and not one. I have my trusty vent right here above me. I have eyes on me from the floor, and I'm pretty sure I have some not so happy eyes being shot at me from the closet area. Okay, what am I doing? What? Wait a minute. That was the expense. Okay. So I was doing it right the first time. I thought I was on the front side of the heart. I'm on the back side of the heart. So I recorded a video last night. Let you see how, let you in on how my okay. I got my eggs. Thank you guys. 32 here. Extremely humid. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. I am so sorry, Khadijah. Oh my goodness. I don't wish that on anybody. Oh. Do you have space in your feet in your freezer for like a gallon size container, Khadijah? If you have space in your freezer for a gallon size container, fill it up with water and freeze it. The quickest way to do that is to do it little by little. It freezes faster, of course, instead of the big clump of water. But when you get it full, make sure you sit it on a towel or something because of condensation and sit it right in front of the fan. And that way, that cool air will blow. Uh, you do have. Hi, Vivian. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. So happy to see you. But like I said, Khadijah, get you a gallon size container if you have one. A pot will be fine. A big anything that you can sit that's large and will last for a while. And if you get two of them, it would really help because hmm, okay, okay, okay. Because I know what works for me when everybody else is too cool. I'll take a bottle of water, just a regular bottle of water, and put it in front of my fan. And when it blows, the cool afloat that coolness off that water, and that will last for like up to an hour. You know. Oh, I am so sorry. I wish I could send you some of my AC. I do. Wow. Okay. 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 Um. So we got to guess what? We have no jokes and we have no quote today. I was being grandma and I didn't have time to look up the jokes or the quote. But I've had enough happen in my life for the past week that we can definitely keep busy. Plus, I have some ideas I want to run by you all. So um, we'll keep it flowing and we'll keep it cool. We're going to do that for Hadisha. We're going to keep it cool. Honestly, it works. It draws the women out of the room. Okay. Okay. And sometimes reversing a fan does. Yeah. I I just said what you just said. I'm so backwards. I'm reading from the bottom up. I am reading from the bottom up because I was getting ready to say what you just said. Sometimes if you turn the fan facing outward, it actually hmm. Oh, I forgot that trick of these. It will work for once. So, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hmm? No, I don't think it'll send them out. I don't. mm, I don't think it'll send them out. Um, I'm so lost in the fact that Khadijah has no air conditioning, and my heart really goes out to you. It really, really does. So I thought I'd do it, but my brains. Okay. F, future focus. I did tell you about that. My goal right now is to finish this. It's definitely to finish. I don't know if you can see all the designs in it. We started out with our pretty little flower, our pretty little motif here in the middle, of course. I can't. And the rest of it you can see from the back. This is the back side. It's a series of these. I think at one point I did use some crosses, but I really didn't use that many. I did that up in this part here in the light blue. But it's basically these and get off my light. And please don't bump my table. It's basically these and filet. Now, whereas my filet before, no, it wasn't filet. I actually used the X's to form the diamond. It's a diamond on each side, and we're ending out with a big heart in the middle. So the blue part is going to be a heart. The bottom half is going to be this color, and then the top half is going to be this color. Um, I know what I wanted to do as a border, but I don't think it would be couple appropriate. I think it would be more, I think it would be more female appropriate if I lived in a supermarket. I just need to really, but yeah. Okay, but what I was saying is what I wanted to do was baskets. And the way you make the baskets is 5 double crochet in a cluster, and then you chain four and go back to the beginning of that cluster like you would do a popcorn stitch, but you don't connect the stitch itself to pull it together. You actually chain five, 4 or 5 to make the handle of the basket. And then you single crochet across so that you can move on and make the next basket. I saw that and let me see if I can do one for you and show you what I'm talking about. So I would do 5 double crochet. That's my 5 double crochet. And then I would chain five, remove my hook, go back to the first stitch and connect it. And that's the handle to my basket right there. Of course, chain one. And then I would single crochet 4, 5, 6, 7, and then slip stitch. And that would make the cute little basket. Can y'all see that okay? And even though I put the 5 double crochet in the same stitch, the other way works just as well. It just gives you like a wider basket. And what I'll do here, since I got 5, then here I would chain 6, 4, 5, 6, and go back to the beginning of that 5th one and pull that stitch through and solidify it with a chain. And then being that I have 6 chains, I would do 8 single crochet. And that would be a basket, but it would be wider. This is in the blue, Hadijah. It's not in the other color. It's in the blue color. So that's what I wanted to do around the outside, but the baskets just felt a little more feminine to me. And when I saw them, the first thing I did was went typical female, just oh, and I'm like, I don't know if he would be like a oh type person. Especially since the dark blue is actually him, the husband, holding his family together. I just had a thought. I just had a thought. And my thought was, I could still make the baskets and I could alternate colors. I could do a blue basket, a red basket, a blue basket, a red basket, a blue basket, a red basket around the border. And that would be him and his wife working together. Yeah. Well, I'll decide when I get there. But that's one of the things that I'm focusing on this week. Let me know what you guys think about that. You think that's an option? Because I really like those baskets. When I saw it on TikTok, I was like, I got to do that. I can't. I just have to do it. Now, Hadijah, your little buddy that you never met, I think you only seen his hand. Maybe you did see him when he made a cameo last week. I don't know. But he chose the pick. If you touch my light, he's gonna be missing in action. But he came up with an idea. He told me to ask you about making grandma a reindeer, not a reindeer, but a deer. I don't mind being a reindeer. I don't. Reindeer deer. Yeah, I don't mind being a reindeer. I'm very much a lady. I'm just an all inclusive lady. I'm a lady who knows how to take care of myself. We can parent you if you want. So I don't mind being a reindeer. I was a carpenter. Shut up, Katie. No, he can't. And I understand all of us, we are a family of ADHD. We are. So asking him to be still for an hour is something that not even I can do. I give a lot of leeway because I do understand. But when I say things like stay off my light and stay off my table, you got enough room that you can move that you don't have to hit my light or my table. So that's where I, you know. And the thing with my light, I have triggers. I have PTSD. And sometimes when lights sway or suddenly move, I don't like flashes on cameras um, because they trigger, and I don't. My snap factor is not like a regular person's snap factor. I don't go crazy. I get really silent. I get really, really, really silent and withdrawn. It's almost like I'm hiding in me. I'm trying to hide from the big scary thing that's about to happen. That's really not gonna happen, but it's something I'm still working through. But there is something. My babies, I think, what do you call it when, excuse me, an animal attaches to another animal for like the sake of safety or comfort? You know, it's something different than a pouch for a kangaroo or a sloth groping or holding on to mom. It's a deeper attachment than that. This is someone that comes back to the same position all the time. I have a detachable mole. That mole right now is 102.4 pounds. Okay. No, it's not breeding, it's already here. So epibiosis sounds right because they will move and function on their own. But then when I'm laying and I'm playing games on my phone trying to get my little $2 or $3 for that day, he will come attached to my whole right side. Now he started out at 7 pounds, but now it's 102.4 pounds. And it's all of this because he's no longer 21 inches. No. I mean, his feet are almost longer than 21 inches, but exaggerating. But he's tall and he takes up this whole side. Yes, 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 yes. You got it, Khadijah. And I don't even like heat in the wintertime. I don't like heat. I don't like heat. To me, heat has a smell. It's an electric smell to it. It's like burning wires. I'm sorry, Khadijah. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm just messing up today. I want to fix your AC problem. I'm using the wrong color. I said your name wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Call this a week of rebooting. Okay, last week was a tough week. It was a real tough week for me. It was it marked the 7th anniversary of my mom passing. And I just, in 2019, the 16th was on Father's Day. So, however many days separate the 16th and Father's Day, I usually have it tough in those days. So, from Tuesday to day before yesterday, and then yesterday, I almost had to cuss the nurse out at the doctor's office because she didn't know how to take a blood pressure. This woman, y'all, I took my pressure before I left the house, and it was um, one. The numbers were little boy, little boy, little boy. Yesterday it was before I left the house 124 over 78 because it was reversed when I got to that 124 over 78. My weight was 341. When I started this journey, y'all, I was 349. So my weight was 341. When I got there, I felt good. And if you don't know, from Tuesday to Saturday, no, from Tuesday to Saturday, yes, I was using two canes to get around. And then finally on Sunday, I started getting some of the strength back in my legs, and I was able to move a little more freely. So by the time Monday came, my legs felt pretty good. I was able to get up with no problem and get on the scale. And when I got on the scale, their scale, and I did this before I left home. This scale said 347. I'm like 341 to 347. That's 6 whole degrees of thickness that you're. I wasn't happy right there. And then when the lady gets me in the room, she has the door open. She says, "Okay, your weight was 347." And I mean, like, the door is open. You have other patients in rooms with their doors open, and all the nurses and things. I'm sure I'm so happy there wasn't a guy out there, and the possibility of me trying to shoot my shot, because that would not have happened. I'd have been shot. I love it when somebody looks at me and they guess that I weigh somewhere around 250. I'm like, whoo, thank you, baby. In my mind, I'm like, you're far too kind, but she just blurted it out there, and it made me mad. So when she got ready to do my blood pressure, she did it on the cuff, but she has the cuff down to here, not up here. And she's squeezing it, holding it together. Okay, first of all, you don't need to hold it together. It's going to be just fine. And secondly of all, it needs to be up here. Sit down. But we were having that issue. And then she told me, she says, "Did you take your blood pressure medicine today?" And I'm like, "No. It's been almost 2 years since I've taken blood pressure medicine." And if you looked at my chart, you would know that. She goes, "Well, I don't know why not." I'm like, she goes, "Well, you need to." Okay. But Hadijah, with that, just so that you know, you tend to get a higher reading in the lower part of your arm than the upper part. I understand what you're saying, though. And if it's that much pain, stick with what you're doing. But also understand that your reading is generally going to be higher in the lower part of your arm than in the upper part. So as she's holding this together, and got this astronomical number. First off, she didn't tell me what it was. She's telling me, "Well, you need to go back on your blood pressure medicine." Wait a minute, hold up. You need to know your position. You're a nurse, not a doctor. You're a person that is seeing me for the first time. So you don't know the issues in my life. You don't know what I'm taking and what I'm not taking. Didn't say this out loud yet. Yet. Notice the yet. So she says, I'll take it again. Mind you, she has not removed the cuff and she has not released all of the air from the cuff. So now we've got still air in the cuff. So we're already starting with the blood pressure. And then as it's swelling, she swells this thing so tight on my arm. I've never had a blood pressure cuff to squeeze that tight on my arm. It felt like a pure tourniquet at that point. And she starts reading the number as first she lets it go too fast. It's like going, psst. And she starts reading. She goes, well, your blood pressure is 180 over 108. Later, that's stroke numbers. And I know myself, if my blood pressure were that high, my face would be red, my eyes would be red, my lips would be swollen, the insides of my hands would be blood red. I would look like I just got through playing in somebody's blood and just, yeah. But the calm part of me is slowly leaving the building at this point. So when my doctor comes in and she says, how are you doing? I was like, I was fine before that came in here. Yeah, I said the word. I did. And she says, I was looking at you. I said, I know you were. I know you were. She says, but I know better. We're going to check it before you leave. I said, well, why aren't we checking in? I'm totally pissed off. Why don't we check it now? Mind you, I'm ready for a high blood pressure reading now. I'm mad. So she calls her in the room. And Danielle proceeds to squeeze all the air out. And she puts it on my arm, properly positions it on my arm. Thank you, Joan. So glad somebody knows me. And she's pumping it up. And she pumped it up to 200, which is basically what we do unless we think your blood pressure is much higher than that. Yes, she does quite frequently. Quite frequently. Sometimes I'm proud of it. Most of the time I'm not. So as she's seeping the air out, she's looking over at the girl. She's looking at me. She's looking over at her. And she says, okay, 128 over 74. Mind you, before I left home, it was 124 over 78. Now it's 128 over 74. And now I'm pissed. I'm totally pissed. So if I can drink my little mouthful of grapefruit juice, be totally pissed, have you play with the numbers on my arm that, are directed to the blood to and from, directly correlated to the blood flowing to and from my heart, for which I wear a heart mechanism to keep it pumping properly and to kickstart it when it doesn't. Yeah. So that's the kind of week I had. So, Khadijah, please forgive me. This is like my reboot. This is the first day of rebooting. Yeah. Go back to what Monica said. It's just one of them days. But I apologize. And I'm going to pray for some air for you. I am. The automatic machines, I don't see them as worse because I think I've broken about 3 or 4 of them. See, I had this aunt, and my aunt Willie told me, if something hurts you, it is not your friend. So the automatic ones that roll around on the poles and the ones that they do at the hospital when they hook you up to the machine, So they had one that I was in the hospital, and they had me on a morphine drip. I had just had a heart attack, and they had me on a morphine drip. So when they came in the room, my blood pressure was plummeting because of the morphine. And I remember the cup was getting too tight. And if you remember, I'll tell you that I take my crocheting with me everywhere I go. And I reached in the bag and I got the scissors and I cut the little blood pressure cup up. It must have been 100, 200 pieces of it on my bed. The machine is just going beep, 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 beep. Because there's nothing there for them to take the blood pressure. So when they finally come in the room, after they rushed in the room and told me they're going to turn the morphine off, and I'm saying, thank God. Thank you. Thank you. Um, when that pain started hitting from the cuff, being too tight, and it was only going up then to like 180, 190. So, yes, I cut it up. I did. I did. Which is probably why the next time I went to the hospital, they took my scissors from me. So, let me tell you, the cardiologist nurse didn't get my BP. I thought my arm was going to fall off. The cardiologist came in, did it herself, and said, I don't understand why she had trouble getting her numbers. Well, Lori, um, everybody who says they know how to do it does not know how to do it, for one. Everybody doesn't have an ear to understand the beats that they hear. That's just like checking your pulse on your wrist. Sometimes, if you have really strong veins, or like if you just finished doing cardio, when you are taking your pulse here, you will get a double, triple beat. Why? Because you have exercised that cardiac muscle to the point that it's really pumping. And not only are you getting it here in your wrist, you're also getting that beat in your fingertips. So what you're feeling here that's going may not be doing that, but someone trained in that area will understand or know the difference between the two. They'll also know that if you've had carpal tunnel release surgery, that your area of getting a pulse in your wrist has spread. Some people don't even know where to get it from. They don't know that this main purple nerve that goes down here, that you go slightly to the thumb side of it. Some people will go over here and say they're getting the pulse. But if you follow that middle finger straight down, that's where you get your pulse reading from. And it's better to do it from the front side instead of from the back. I don't know what it is about going across, but it's the same thing with your neck. You follow the middle of your eye down. And you do have to push a little bit if you're like me and have a chubby neck. But yes, you definitely can. But it's better to go from this side than across your neck. It's the same thing here. Rather than go across that artery and tunnel, go beside it instead of going across it. Down in your ankle, you can do top side of ankle, which is right above the ankle bone, but just before the top of the foot, or you can go to the back side. What's low, but not bad. Like, yeah, yeah. But it amazes me how some people with the blood pressure, not the needle thing. The needle thing is outside of my expertise. I know how to feel my veins out for them. I can tell them which vein is a good vein. But if you ask me to stick a needle in that vein, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's vibrating and ringing. I don't know where that came from. But it did go through an update day before yesterday. It did. So that may be why it did that. Okay, before we get too far off, Richter, I did want to mention to you um, that we know that Juan is back in full effect. Don't forget to check him out on Whipping It with Juan, date night on Saturday nights. He still does his members only lives, if you remember. He does his, I did the Whipping It with Juan date night, his podcast, and right now we're not doing the challenges. Also, mhm, the very beautiful twin and stitches that we have here in the room with us. You want to follow her on her journey and give her hints, tips, and well wishes and prayers. Lord knows I would, Lori, I wish I could be there to help you with that process. I do. But sometimes knowing that you have people on your side or in your corner will give you a little bit of a boost enough to continue on a journey. And her stories, y'all, the stories, they range from hilarious to little tear jerkers, but it's like positive tear jerkers. You know, it's like the little endearing ones. She has them for you. Also, don't forget the Hands Across Glamerica with Jackie of Crochet HD, another one of our ADHD sisters. And I'm trying to save her. I want to say Miracle. Um, Magical Make Along. The one for May and June, excuse me, is still in effect. I am so anxious to see what's coming up for July and August, as Lexi's co host will be Lori. And I'm so anxious to see what they have coming up. I did not put it in the post, but Miss Tina of Craft Spy, the Rose, is coming up with a 10,000 yard corner to corner challenge. If you're interested, she has given permission to start early, except migraines. I'm so happy, Lori. I am so happy. I had a couple of meds that I had to cut out. Period. I always say it wrong. It's either Tipramate or Tipramat. I had to cut that out. Never could take Compazine because it makes me like, you know. And it got to the point the Imitrex was doing the same thing. And then, of course, they had to take me completely off the Gabapentin. Me and Gabby were fighting walls, beds, furniture. Yes, yes. I was running from things that weren't there. Yeah, me and Gabby Clinton were just, yes, had me talking crazy. So yeah, I've been on quite a few of them myself. Um, but back to, we did the Glam America, we did Lori, we were doing Lexi, we did Wine. I feel like I'm missing somebody other than the one I'm saving. Miss Tina, that's what I was saying. Miss Tina. Why are we coughing? But Khadijah, my love, did the video help? Did you get the video and did it help? Because I sent you the link. I did what you told me. And I sent you the link and I wanted to know if it helped. the day that we when you reached out, I made the video as soon as your live was over. Okay. Um, and I really thought that I sent it to you. You do have a Gmail account, right? What is your email address before you put the at gmail.com? Just the first part of it. Okay. Okay. Because I thought I sent it, but I will check that out as soon as we're done here and I will resend it. I will definitely do that because I made that video just for you and I did it unlisted like you told me. I followed instructions. Okay. Okay. And I'll write that down too. Okay. Now the one that I was Miss Tina, 10,000 yards of yarn making a huge corner to corner blanket. Um, I know I got graces and leeway because 10,000 yards is going to cover like a room and a half in my place. And we got some big rooms. But she did say you could go smaller. I think it's just a like a challenge to work on C to C together. So what I plan to do, and I think she said, I'm not for sure. I will check with her to be sure. But I think she said that starts the 1st of August. She has given permission to start early if you want, but I'm going to check with her to be sure about that date. Yes, yes. Sending cooler weather to Khadijah. Yes. Um, Now, Michelle, it's the one I was purposely saving. Guys, please don't forget to check out. I can bring you a dry towel every minute, but I'd have to go change mine during the opposing minute. So I'd bring you a towel and then I'd go change mine. And then I'd bring you another towel and then I'd go change mine. And then we'd throw those four in the wash. And we get a couple of more that we've compacted in the freezer somewhere. And we put those back. Yeah, it would be a cycle, but we'd get it done. We'd get it done. Okay. So don't forget to check out the Cozy Encyclopedia. Um, yes. Yes, I think I have another. I think everybody here in the house has 6 towels each, if I'm not mistaken. So that's 24 towels. We could definitely, yeah, that's 6 cycles. We could do that. Um, so don't forget to check out the Cozy Encyclopedia. This is where Michelle takes stitches and she tears them apart. Tells you how to construct them left hand and right hand. Tells you um, everything about these stitches. I'm going to have to really, really speed up this part of what I'm saying. That was my daughter calling, and I'm going to have to call her back. So please don't forget to check that out on Saturday mornings She has the Stitch Circle where everybody comes together and works on your project and just have a good time on Saturday evenings. She has the Yarn Bistro. It's the same thing as the Stitch Circle in the mornings, just a little more laid back and relaxed. On Mondays, she drops all types of hints and ideas. And the one thing that she's working on now is how to be prepared. And I had my little kit so I could show you. And I don't know what it is. Was it? But it was how to be prepared. Mhm. And you have your little bag. Put your a little small skein in it. Your hook. Your I love you too, sis. I really do. But you have your stitch. hmm, You have your stitch markers, your scissors, your yarn needle, and your yarn, and you can make little small like motifs for something that you're working on. You can make squares, you can make washcloths, anything small that you're working on, a headband, anything. So, um, and just keep it like I have a bag that I carry with me to the doctor's office. That bag stays packed and goes with me when I go. I just snatch it up and I'm on the go. It's the same thing. And it's a way to just keep yourself prepared. She gives you challenges and things that you can work on over a 12-week period. And she also gives you ideas of things to make for the season. A lot of good information comes from her channel. So please be sure to go check that out. The reminder that I want to have for you, you already know what it is. You already know 30 minutes of organization, daily journaling keeps down frustration. So I have that for you. I hate to rush this at the end, but I really need to call Nikki and find out what's going on. I know she's been having car trouble. So I got to give her a call. I love each and every one of you. I want you all to remember that self love is the greatest love of all. You cannot love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Also, with Miss Vivian being in here, I hope you all checked out my community page. Her The link to her picture is in there. That's the way I was finally. Thank you, Khadijah. The link to Miss Vivian's picture is in the community post. Please go check it out. That blanket is absolutely beautiful. So please go check that out. It's in the community post. I will see you guys on Thursday. The other thing I was going to tell you real quick, I recorded a whole 29 minutes of a video last night. Can't find it on my phone. Can't find it anywhere on my phone. But I recorded it. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Take care. I can't even see how to get out. Here we go.